All right, welcome back to Operation Torchlight. This will be the US and KMT turn. It is currently January 1944. Um, First off, just a quick little correction from the Italian turn. So the Italians went in to attack the Anzac transport in Sea Zone 34 and with one coastal sub, but the Commonwealth has ASW, so it's not an auto kill. It does fight back. So the veteran said he would change it to bring in two coastal subs versus the one transport. So that'll be 2 at 2 versus 1 at 1, and we're going to go ahead and roll that right now. So I'll take 2 black at 2 versus a yellow defending at 1. 4, 9, and 10. There's no hits. 7, 11, and 11. No hits. There it is. There's the hit. 2, 11, and 4. So really no change to what happened other than 2 Italian coastal subs in 34 and only 1 in 48. All right, let's talk about our purchases. We can get it like this. So the U.S. is going to lend-lease a medium bomber to the KMT for 11. They're going to lend-lease a tactical bomber to the French for 11. They're going to lend-lease a heavy bomber to the British for 13. They're going to build themselves a heavy bomber and a jet fighter for 25. And then they're going to build themselves a regular fighter and 2 infantry for 26. Next. Let's, KMT, idiot. Then the KMT will spend 9 for 3 infantry, 3 for an airborne, 6 for 2 cavalry, and then 6 for 2 more cavalry. No lend-lease for them this turn. Combat. So we have 2 combats in Europe. The first, is that we are going to, make sure I get this right. We're going to take 1 infantry out of southern France and we're going to walk into an empty northern Italy. So that is worth 3. So it'll take the US from 63 to 66 and the Italians from 12 down to 9. Next, they're going to take 2 infantry. They're going to load up on this transport in the channel, and then they're going to get off, still in the channel, into the Netherlands against this 1 German infantry. And then they'll take this fighter out of southern France, and he will go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then because he was at an air base and he has long-range aircraft, he has 2 movements remaining, so he can either land in England or in, northwestern France. These British heavy bomber sculpts are so big and heavy they don't like to stay on the stands very well. That's it for the attacks in Europe. Let's move over to the Pacific. Starting in the South Pacific, we'll take this transport and damaged battleship, and we're going to try to come in and take out this infantry, this 1 infantry, try to take out this 1 militia here in West Timor. That's a little sketchy battle, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see. We'll also convoy with this 1. There's only 1 left to take off from the Japanese this calendar turn. But we'll try to convoy it off in Sea Zone 88. Next is we will be doing a strategic bombing run on the factory in Tokyo. So we have this heavy bomber going 1, 2, 3, 4. And he can move 4. He has 4 movement spaces remaining. And then he'll be escorted by this jet fighter coming off of the carrier, so he can go 1, 2, 3. He has 2 movements remaining, so he can land back on the carrier wherever that goes, likely C-Zone 38. I shouldn't say likely, it will be C-Zone 38. That's that battle. Now coming over here to, yeah, there. That's a good view. Let's do the easy stuff. We're gonna walk with this Marine into Suion. I'm just gonna flip it over, and that's worth 1. So the KMT goes from 18 to 19, and the CCP goes from 5 down to 4. Then we're gonna, oh no, it wasn't a good angle, because I need to be able to see this. Then this this transport that's here in C-Zone 91, it's gonna go 1, 2, up into 54 and take this Marine and this infantry and try to assault into Peking. They will not be accompanied by any bombardments, but they will get help from this fighter that's here in that C-Zone. He will go 1, 2, 3, and he'll have 2 movements remaining. All right. And then Shenxi, I already took the units off and put them on the battle board because it's such a small territory, but we're going to come in with this artillery and mountain infantry plus the 3 cavalry that are there in Hopei. In addition to that, we're going to bring the jet fighter from Nanking, moving 1, 2, 3, so he'll have 2 movements remaining. Right, I think that's, yeah, it doesn't connect. Plus this fighter and tactical bomber from Qinghai. So 3 planes. Oh, and I'm going to add 1 more cavalry out of Qinghai. Okay. Okay, next, I think that's those 3. Next, we're going to take this heavy bomber that belongs to the KMT, and we're going to come over and go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to strap bomb the factory in what is that? Kazakhstan? Yeah, Kazakhstan, Turkestan. And then I still got to keep going after these factories. It makes it really tough when they keep dropping all these militia. But I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 up here to Cheetah. Try to take that factory back again. And he'll be accompanied by an airborne and the KMT fighter out of Qinghai. So 2 planes and an airborne versus 3 militia. Lastly, is I really want to take this one back, so I'm going to central Mongolia, so I'm going to take the infantry from just west of there, whatever its name is. Plus I will add, I'll actually take this cavalry and go 1 through central Mongolia and 2, so I miss the border terrain. And then these last two are going to go over here to Xinjiang. So 1 cavalry out of Qinghai, the other one out of Yunnan. All right. I think that's it for the battles. Let me just double check the red missiles that are on here. I got the 1, 2, 3. Got that one, got that one, that one, that one. Got the bombing, got the convoy, got West Timor. I have a few white missiles out here. Those are just strategic naval moves, to remind myself. All right, so let's come over to the battle board in the box, and I don't want to. We'll do the convoy first. Try to do that first every time. So we get a +2 in C-Zone 88. Against the red is always the attacking. So it's even, so we don't take that last IPP off. All right, next we'll go ahead and we'll do this one. We already have half on the battle board. We're bringing in, like I said, 4 cavalry that's mounted, so they'll attack at 2. We have an artillery that will be at, I'll remember, 2 this time. For some reason I thought artillery didn't get taken down in mountains. Kind of stupid. But he will boost the mountain infantry that doesn't suffer a penalty and get supported by the artillery. Then we've got a fighter at 6, a tactical bomber at 7, and a jet fighter at 8. All right, so let's do our first strike artillery at 2 or less. That's a 12, about as worse as you can get. Next, we will grab yellow for the jet fighter, blue for the tactical bomber, red for the fighter. I'll do an ivory for the mountain infantry, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 black for the 4 cavalry. All right, so tactical bomber missed, jet fighter missed, fighter hit, and that is it. Wow, take off 1 militia. All right, so now I'll put 3 yellow in here for the militia. I'll put in 2 black for the for the regular infantry, and then 2 ivory for the mountain infantry. Those would need to be 4s. Those are misses. Those are militia at 2. Those are misses. And these are mountain infantry at 5s. Those are misses. Wow. I like that. So let's go again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cavalry and an artillery at 2. A mountain infantry in ivory at 3. And then we got a red, a blue, and a yellow for my 3 planes. So we have a hit by the jet fighter this time. We have a hit by the tactical bomber. The fighter misses, mountain infantry misses, and all the 2s miss. So just 2 hits. That's the last 2 militia. All right. So now they've got 2 militia, 2 infantry, and 2 mountain infantry. Wow, so 1 infantry hits and that's it. So we will lose a cavalry. Yep. All right, so those are off. Round 2, so we've got 4 black, a red, a blue, and a yellow. So we have a hit with a cavalry, or it could be artillery, I don't know. Fighter misses, tactical bomber misses, jet fighter hits. So that's the 2 infantry. All right, so now we've got 2 infantry and 2 mountain infantry. Did I roll my mountain infantry? I don't know. For them, oh, their 2 mountain infantry hit, but his infantry did not. So that's 2 more hits. I will take, I actually want to preserve some of these. So I'm actually going to take the mountain and the artillery because I want to preserve those cavalry. So let's go again. So we've got 1, 2, 3 cavalry, a fighter, attack, and a jet fighter. And I'll throw in his 2 mountains in ivory. So he has a hit, and I have 1, 2, 3 hits. So I only needed 2, and I'll lose a cavalry, and the battle is over. All right, so surviving with 2 cavalry, we will take Shenxi, which is worth 2. If I messed up the battle, please let me know, because I think I had one moment in there I was like, did I roll 2 mountain infantry for the defense? I don't know. Let's see what happens if I didn't. It's an 11, so it would have missed anyways. Okay. I feel better about myself now. Let's see, we've got this tactical bomber, fighter, and jet fighter. I will leave them there for now until I figure out where I need to put them. Alright, let's do this amphibious assault into Peking. So we have a marine and an infantry versus an infantry. Marine and infantry and a fighter versus an infantry. So that's 2 at black, 2 at 2, and 1 at 6 versus an infantry at 5 because it is a city. And I thought about trying to blockade it first to surround it and make it a 3, but it's all right. So here we go. So I got a hit. Actually, I got 2 hits, and he missed with a 9. All right. So we'll take Peking. That one is worth 2. It's taken by the CCP, even though it's American forces, because it's Chinese homeland. So we got an infantry and a marine that take that. And the fighter has 2 spaces, but we'll figure out where he's going to go in just a minute. Alright. Okay, that was worth 2. And then Shenxi was worth 2. So CCP is down to 0. They're off the board. And KMT is from 19 to 23. Alright. Oh, I didn't do West Timor yet. Let's do that one. So we got a bombardment at 3. Let's go ahead and take 1 bombardment because it's a damaged battleship. It's a 12. Now we've got an infantry and a militia fighting against each other. So I'm going to take black for the infantry and red, yellow for the militia. If it hits the first round, then it's over. 5 and an 8. So actually, yeah. So there's no double casualties anyways, because I only brought in 1. But so now we just keep going. It's whoever gets a 2 or less first wins the battle. It's 12 and a 6, 6 and a 7, 5 and a 7. Oh, there it is. Infantry got him. Perfect. So we take West Timor, and I guess that one has to go to the FEC once again. So the FEC, they go up 1 from 26 to 27, and they have the same income as the UK now. And Japan goes from 10 down to 9. All right. Next, let's do the strategic bombing run on Tokyo. And so we've got no interception because he decided not to intercept. We've got 3d6 worth of damage with that heavy bomber. So that's 13 damage. Plus we get an AA shot in return, 3 or less. Whoops, threw it right out of the box. 3 or less. 10, it misses. So 13 damage put onto the Tokyo factory. I think the southern factory is much less. I think they only have 6 damage. The one down in Kyushu. Anyways. Alright, then we'll go over to the strategic bombing run in Kazakhstan, Turkestan. 3d6 again. Threw it right out of the box again. So far it's 7. Ooh, nice. So 13 damage there as well. I need to get that. So just trying to make it. I can't take the factory, but at least I can make it expensive for him to try to get it. There is an AA shot in return. An 8, he misses. All right, now let's go ahead and Xinjiang. I've got 2 cavalry at 3 versus a cavalry at 2. So I'll take 2 black versus a yellow. Oh, he missed me. This is a 3. Nothing. There it is. That's a 2. I think that's a 2. Yeah, it's a 2. So we take that one with our 2 cavalry both survive. So not worth anything, but at least we get our territory back. Now we're going to go into central Mongolia. So we've got an infantry and a cavalry. This is a mountain territory versus a cavalry. So this one is a little bit sketchier. So we've got, we'll do an the cavalry at 2, the infantry at 1, and the defending cavalry at a 2. That's 5, 5, and 6. Oh, he hit, and I did not. So I'll lose my infantry, and we'll keep going and see if I really want to get this one. Oh, we both hit. Wow. So that's 2 good rolls. So everybody dies there, and it stays Russian. Okay. Where was I? It stays Russian. All right. Next we'll go. All right, the best for last, which is our airborne assault into Cheetah. So it is a mountain territory, so I've got 3 militia in yellow defending versus an airborne reduced to a 2 in the first round because of the mountains, plus a green for a medium bomber and a red for a fighter. I think that's it. Could go good, could go bad. Let's see. Miss, hit, miss, 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 miss. All right, so we're going to take out 1 militia, and then this black die gets reduced to a 1. Oops. All right, so hit with the medium bomber again. The 2 militia miss. The fighter misses again. Not being good with fighters. All right, we'll take out the 12, and we'll go again. All right, so he hit, but so did I. So we're going to lose the fighter and keep the airborne there and take the territory. So his 3 militia are gone. My fighter is gone. The territory goes to the KMT. The factory is reduced to minor. And that is up 1 for the KMT to 24, down 1 for the Russians to 53, I think. There was some talk about me having some of the stuff off, so if we need to fix the dollars, then that's fine. All right, that one's done. I think I did every battle now. So now it's time for non-combat. So let's look at planes. All right. So first, we've got a medium bomber here that can move 2, so he'll go back to Qinghai because he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This air transport moved 1, 2, 3. He can move 6, so he'll go back to Yunnan for his next. Try to get his next airborne next time. All right. This militia will come out of Nanking into Shantung. This militia will come out of Nanking to Hunan, and we'll just leave 2 infantry in there. Then we will take this heavy bomber, and he is going to he moved 1, 2, 3, 4. He can move 6 and has long range, so he can go 5, 6, 7 and land back in Korea. This jet fighter can only move 2, so he's going to go 1, 2, and he's going to land here in C-Zone 38. So this entire fleet is going to move up to C-Zone 38, and the jet fighter will land on it. I will also bring this sub from 89 to 54. I guess I could have convoyed there in 54. That's all right. I've got a tactical bomber down in the Marshall Islands. He can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and land in Korea. This fighter that was here in Peking, he moved off of the fleet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll also land in Korea. This is one of my strategic naval moves. I've got the transport in the Mariana Islands, the only one left over. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 back to the Hawaiian Islands. I know you couldn't quite see that, but he's over there now. Yep, and let's actually, now you make sure you can see this. Next, I've got this transport here over by the Solomon Islands. He's going to be my next 3 strategic naval moves. Remember, you can do 4 moves, 4 units, 5 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to this fleet here and drop off a Marine and an infantry up into Primorsky Krai. The rest of these ships, well, I could move these 3 spaces. This one can only move 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to move 1, 2 to the Mariana Islands. Let's see, you've got 4 ships there. He's got 3 planes. He could come after it if he wants to, but so I did that. All right, I've got these planes that are all here. So this jet fighter, he moved 1, 2, 3. He can only move 2 more from Shenxi. He's going to land in Shanghai. These other 2 planes moved 1 from Shanghai. The attack bomber is going to go over to, so they can move 3 more. So they'll go 1, 2, 3 over to Korea, both of them. So now we have 2 attack bombers, 2 fighters, and a heavy bomber there. All right. Next, landed those planes. I think that's all. Oh, I need my planes out of San Fran. So I got a heavy bomber out of San Fran. He can move 8 because he's got long range and an air base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll land in Korea. I've got a jet fighter and a fighter that can each move 6. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll land this jet fighter on the carrier. And the other fighter will go 1, 2, let's see, 1. I was trying to get him to the Mariana Islands, but I don't think I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll go to the Marshall Islands with the airbase there. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Just double checking my stuff over here. I think I'm good in moving everything. Oh, I didn't move this KMT heavy bomber back. He'll move back to Shanghai. Over here in the Atlantic. So this fighter that was there will actually move over to London. 2 spaces remaining that he has. That transport has to stay. For some reason I stupidly forgot that if I assault there I can't strategic move him back. So I gonna end up messing up with my bought 2 infantry from New York and I have no transport to bring him on. That's all right. This coastal sub will move 1 into Sea Zone 80 to join the other US sub that's there. I only have 1 strategic naval move left, and I don't think I want to do much with that. So this heavy bomber from New York can move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put him to Paris. No, actually, we'll put him into southern France. Yeah, that was 7. Actually, you know what? This coastal sub, instead of moving there, he will move 1 to 48. And then the regular sub will move 1, 2 to 48. And then I'll move 1, 2, 3 with my transport, light cruiser, and destroyer. And they'll pick up this medium or light armor and infantry, and they will get dropped off into Leon Castile. There, that works. Other than that, did I even roll this? I didn't even roll the Netherlands. Ah, what an idiot. Okay. No wonder I'm... Okay, that fighter movie doesn't move yet. So I've got 2 infantry assaulting an infantry, and I've got a fighter supporting. All right, wow, look at that. I hit with an infantry, hit with the fighter, and he barely missed with the infantry. So that was good. US will go from 66 to 68. Germany will go from 26 to 24. And the Netherlands, I think it has to go to the UK. Yeah, so US wouldn't go to 68. The UK would go from 27 to 29. I think so. If it can go to the US, I'll give it to the US, but I think it has to go to them. You can correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so now that piece is done, and the fighter goes back to London. All right, time to place units. So first in the western US, we're going to place a heavy bomber, a jet fighter, a regular fighter, and 2 infantry, all into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all into New York. Next, we'll deliver this tactical bomber. We're going to deliver it into... See if they have a port there. Yeah, the red port for the narrow crossing. I don't think that's a port that can take an aircraft. So I'll send it into Normandy so I can avoid the Italian subs. And then the UK heavy bomber I will send into the Midlands. Okay. Over to China, I'll deliver the medium bomber into Yunnan. And then the Chinese, or the KMT, will build their airborne in Yunnan. They'll build 3 infantry in northern Manchuria, because Manchuria is still part of home country, and so it says that they can, with their decentralized military, that they can build. I was trying to make sure I got this right. It does say decentralized military in any Chinese home country land zone if they possessed it since the beginning of their turn. And Chinese home country is all the KMT CCP warlords plus Formosa, Hong Kong, and the Manchurias. Oops. Yeah, there. So, I think we're good with that. Then I've got 4 more cavalry to place. I will place, 3 in Shanghai again. And 1 in Reihe. Since I've had that one since the beginning of my turn. I was just thinking, you know, this sub, I'm not going to take it into 54. I'm going to take it into 91. Yeah. All right. That's it for building. Everything is good. So next, let's do some income collection. So the US is at 66, plus they get their bonus 12 is 78, and they're going to get wartime economy on top of that. The KMT is at 24, plus the Burma Road is open, so that's 25 for them. Let's see what the wartime economy is. Plus 2d12, 78 plus 12 is 90. 90 bucks. 75, 85, 90. All right. And then lastly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video here. I was asked to do a review of the victory points at the end of this turn. Now we would be going into, or this is the end of the calendar turn, so we'd be going into July 1944, and I do believe that with the variable, which we chose to do the variable ending to the game, July of 94 would be the game dice. The game ends on dice rolls starting July 1944, so we would need to do one more turn to start rolling for the end of the game. But let me go ahead and just I'll pause the video here, and I'll be back in no time at all for you to show you what the victory points currently are. All right, so this is what after I tallied it all up, this is what I see for the total number of victory points currently at the end of January 1944 is that Germany has just one victory city, Japan has just their victory city, Italy's actually doing pretty well with their Expand the Empire, Med Dominance, their victory city, but they lost northern Italy, so -1. Russia's doing pretty well with 8 for expanded or worldwide communism, so they've captured They have both Central Mongolia, Western and Eastern Manchuria, plus East Prussia, West Poland, Warsaw, Romania, and Bulgaria. So they have 8 total. Plus they have their ice-free port over in southern Ukraine. And then they did get the tech. They have Moscow, but they've lost Cheetah and Primorsky Krai. The CCP doesn't exist anymore. They still have their money. They never lose their money. They never surrender. But they don't own any land zones or anything, so they're just 0. So it's 5 for the Axis and 9 for the Comintern. For the Allies, England, Great Britain is doing really well. The only thing that they have left is the Med security, because they don't have anything in the Med. The FEC is really well. Anzac's really well. France is doing really well. The only thing that I noticed is kind of weird. The contain fascism here and contain fascism here for the U.S. both say at or below 1939 levels, which is 24 for Germany and 10 for Italy. Italy's at 9 and Germany's at 24, but for France it doesn't say at or below, it just says below. So we'd need to reduce Germany by 1 more IPP, or by 1 more income, to be able to get that one, but otherwise they're doing well. USA is doing really well, except for they can't contain the communism because worldwide communism is up to 8, needs to be less than 5. The rest of it's good. And then the KMT is doing really well, but they didn't expel foreign influence because there's 2 British infantry in Yunnan. I had that just in case the Fighting Irish decided to want to try to do an air raid on Yunnan. Obviously this next turn they would back out of there, but that's fine. They did reclaim China. They defeated the communists. They have Nanking, but they've lost Western and Eastern Manchuria to the Russians. Those are still held by them. Obviously they would try to take them back this next turn, but actually they may not even be able to take it back this next turn because there's just too much to try to get after. But anyways, so their total is 18. So the Allies doing really well in this game so far, but that's it. And like I said, we would have 1 more turn before we do a variable die roll, but I think that there was some waning interest in continuing the game, especially on the part of the veteran. I think he's ready to move on to the next game, but that's where it stands for now. Thanks for watching, appreciate it, and cheers.